into it. Who has microphones? Great. Well, I'll start with Jeff. Jeff.
Debbie doesn't have any. Okay, I'll share with you. How's that?
Yeah, we'll share. We'll share.
No, my question's first. Hey, calm down.
Yeah. We'll
the
take
show's
turns.
named after you.
Turns.
Now you're getting all egotistical.
So you played Sheen.
Yes, I play Sheen.
Oh, amazing. We had a lot of Sheen fans.
Hello, Sheen fans. I love you too.
Ultralord is Sheen's favorite superhero. Everyone knows this.
Yes.
Do you personally have a favorite superhero or fictional character?
Gotta be Incredible Hulk.
Nice. We got Incredible Hulk fans in the
Yeah,
crowd.
like the Hulk is the man. I mean,
Why Hulk? Why Hulk?
Because he has no control over it. People piss him off, and he just gets mad and just tears down the town. I wish I could do that. I get mad when 7-Eleven runs out of a certain soda.
So you relate, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I would love to turn green and wreck the 7-Eleven.
Fair enough. You do a lot of stand-up comedy?
Yes.
Well, comedy is a strong word. Jeff is a really nice guy who's pretty limited in his emotional makeup.
Yes.
So he does comedy.
Right. He does. He's about to turn green. Be careful.
No, he does therapy too. So.
Who would be your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian?
That's right. Yeah.
I have to say Richard Pryor.
Do you think Sheen would be good at stand-up comedy?
No. He can't keep it together that long.
Oh yeah. He's too ADHD.
Yeah, he's all over the place. Squirrel.
Rob?
Yeah.
You play the famous Carl Weezer.
I do.
I asked their favorite characters, and we had some Jimmy's moms out there.
Jimmy's mom has got it going on.
Stay away from my mom, Carl.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm just a little bit lost.
It's just weird.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, they have chicken fried steak here.
Chicken fried steak?
Yeah.
Does it go good with ice cream?
I don't know. I just kind of used it to hold my hotel door open. It's pretty tough.
So, Carl loves a few things, right? Jimmy's
Yes.
mom is one
Yes,
of them.
I love Jimmy. I realize there is a fine line between funny and felony. But our love is real, and ow, my scapula. Next question.
Oh my God! You know I'm going to tell the story. You know that I'm going to tell the story. When it's my turn, keep going.
Okay. Yeah, Candy's got it. Okay, go ahead.
Carl is part of a llama love society.
Well, be careful. A llama love society.
Right.
Well, again, funny, felony. I love llamas, but not in the biblical sense. I can't even say biblical
Too many L's.
sexual sense. Yeah.
So if you, Rob,
Yes.
had to be a part of a society dedicated to one particular thing and loving it, what would you pick?
I would be, let's see. Okay, I have my own acronym. You guys are aware of IMDb,
Yes.
right? I have that. I'm a member of one. I'm the president, CEO, and only member of IMDb, which for me means I mostly do bullshit. And it's true. So that's my organization, an organization of one.
Wait, aren't you like the vice president of AARP too?
I am old. In fact, Jeffrey, God bless him, used to call me a blanking fossil, which was true. And many of you don't know this, but I was the entertainment at the Last Supper. In those days, I was known as Shecky of Arimathea. Jesus, what a party. And I'll tell you, it was going great until we started doing karaoke. And then, you know, Judas.
I know.
Judas come up and he did Backstabbers. And I thought, it's too on the nose.
It is.
So, thank
I
you.
don't know.
Anybody else?
You,
Okay, this whole show's about to get canceled.
Pinky is another character. Yes. I just wanted to ask, who do you think is dumber, Pinky or Carl?
All I know is then I don't have to worry about people accusing me of doing sort of ungodly things with llamas. All I care about is food pellets and booze. That's it. Narf, yeah.
Between Sheen and Carl, who do we think has a higher IQ?
Oh, a soap dish has a higher IQ than Carl, I promise.
It's ADHD, man. I'm gifted, brother. Come on.
Candi.
What?
Hi.
I do have to tell you this story real quick. So Jeff Glenn Bennett, who plays Johnny Bravo, we're all of us are friends from way back. And he said, prior to the pandemic, we used to do these group records where we would literally laugh for 4 hours that I can't even begin to tell you that you'd stand up and your stomach hurt from how hard you were laughing. And had we known that the last session we did was the last session we would do as a group, we would have cherished those memories, cherished those moments more, because we record singly or just a couple of people over Zoom. It's not the same vibe. So one day, we're recording Jimmy Neutron, and I'm sitting next to Carl, and I did have a weight loss person that was named Carl, and you could ask my daughter that every time I said, oh my God, I just got a text message from Carl. So Rob is sitting there, and it's quiet because somebody, I think probably Jeff, forgot his line, or I'm kidding, or screwed it up, and was real quiet. It was a little tense. The voice director is getting a little edgy, and Rob goes, Jesus taught me to trick people, and I lost it. And you have to understand, it was dead silent. Everybody was very strict, and I laughed so hard I fell off my chair, and they were counter stools. I fell off my damn chair and then Carl every once in a while would say, llamas. And it's so weird, but that's what I take away from group records that are sadly no more. And we know each other's kids, and we know each other's spouses, and it's been a missed. That's why these cons are so great. That's why they're so great. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming,
Yes.
keeping them alive. You've been in a ton of shows.
Yes.
Looney Tunes stuff, Space Jam, Foster Home for Imaginary Friends,
Yep.
Dexter's Laboratory,
Yep.
on and on. Do you have a favorite animated TV show personally?
I will say honestly, I'm a huge fan of Ed, Ed and Eddie. Like because it's so stupid. And that, yes, exactly. But I would say I don't, because somebody asked me that if I had a favorite character or a favorite show, and it all depends on what studio I was quote unquote married to at the time. I did a lot of work for Cartoon Network, then I went to Nickelodeon, and then I went to Disney, and then I went back to Nickelodeon for a little bit. Now I'm a Warner Brothers, which is Cartoon Network girl, and I don't really have a favorite. I do actually believe that every character I do is a part of me. It's a piece of me. It's little reasons I live alone. Thanks so much for coming. Bye-bye now. Thanks. And looking for a man with hair and a job. Other than that, not a lot of qualifications necessary. I'm all right, I'm fine. Anyway, anymore. I'm just alone in the corner next to my pals, so I feel like I'm auditioning and not doing well, just so you can see what it really looks like in real time. Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Debbie, is obviously Jimmy Neutron.
Woo!
Round of applause. Is there a role that you think helped start your career? Is there one role like that? Is it Jimmy, or is it something else, or was there just a bunch?
Golly. Well, Jimmy Neutron was the first boy I booked. Up until Jimmy Neutron, I was just doing little girl voices because that's what was the easiest thing for me to sound like. Remember when I used to sound like this all the time?
Yes.
And then?
I remember when I first met you, she said, my name is Debi Derryberry, and I said, yeah, okay, what's your name? That's your name! And I find that so friggin' charming that somebody who has that smile and is that sweet Her name is Debi Derryberry, not Susan Olsen.
It's my
Debi
real name.
Derryberry.
No, but I used to talk like this all the time, and then I did a show called Tasmania,
Oh, yes!
where I played, and Jim Cummings was Taz, and I played his little brother, Zach? Jake. That's what it was, Jake. And Jake sounded, he sounded like this. You're the best big brother. And I got a voice node. And I can't do that voice. And so when I went to, hold on.
Yeah, that's water.
When I went to audition for Neutron, or was Neutron before it? No. Well, I knew I couldn't do texture. I mean, Candi, queen of textured little boy voices, do it.
Well, anyway, yo, Nerd Bomb, how's it going? I'm your best friend in the whole world. Not really, I don't like it.
So that's gravelly, right? I can't do gravelly, so I thought when I go into audition for Jimmy Neutron, what am I going to do? I'm up against, Nancy Cartwright and E.G. Daly and Pammy Adler with all these, textured voices. So I did Jimmy Neutron with no texture out the side of my mouth, and I don't even remember what the question was.
It was just what role kind of started it off
Oh,
for you.
yeah. So, Jimmy Neutron, I guess, started the little boys going. But I was lots of little girl voices, too. But I guess it depends on what Candi said, who you're with at the time and what network is using you so much. But when you're doing a show, people are like, did you know? How was it doing a great show like Neutron? But all our shows are great.
Yes.
And we never know which ones are going to take off. And who knows, who knew 23 years later that we were going to have this iconic show that has so many fans that had these long legs that lasted for so long. Still forgot the question.
That is okay. It was a wonderful answer. I wanted to ask, everyone can answer this, specific to Rob a little bit, but you did a TED Talk in Detroit? Is
I
this
did.
correct?
I'm from, the home of the Detroit Lions. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, Houston.
And,
Not sorry about Dallas, though. Go ahead.
You were, there was a clip of it on Instagram, and I loved it because you were talking about empathy and courage and kindness and humility, and you told a little story, and I assume that's the best part of the job is getting to interact with people like that. So to everyone, where have you seen or gotten to experience wonderful interactions with fans the most? Is it at cons like
my
this?
goodness.
Is it DMs? What is it like?
Thank you for asking, and all of us have these stories. At the risk of being too serious, I'm going to be serious. Virtually all of you come to visit us, and when you get to us, you sometimes through tears say, thank you. I was in the foster system, and from 6 months to 18, I went to 5 homes, but as long as there was a television, ... Or I served 3 tours of duty, and my job was to kill the bad guys and not be killed. And we watched Pinky in the frickin' Brain when we were on. And you thank us. Now, with all due respect, you watched the show. You learned who Candi and Jeff and Debbie, and all you learned who we were. You learned our names. You followed our careers. You're the ones who said, oh my God, Candi Milo is this. Debbie. Then some of you fly here. Then you buy a ticket. Then you rent a hotel room. And you get a car. And you buy gas at $3.50 a gallon. And you stand in line. And if we're lucky enough to have long lines, you stand there as long as it takes to get up to us and say thank you. With all due respect, thank you. We got nothing, literally nothing without you. You can have a script written by Jesus and $20 million of someone else's money, and if nobody watches, it doesn't matter. So thank you so much.
Thank you, you guys. Big hand for you.
That sums it up, really, truly.
I got a couple more questions for you, and then I have a little game for us to play. But Debbie, you also voiced Jimmy for the Nickelodeon game All Stars Brawl 2. Has anyone played that? It's kind of like a...
Yeah, it's a new video game, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I watched some like gameplay of it, and I just wanted to ask, what was that like? Because it's just him like grunting a bunch. It was just like, did you just go into a recording booth and grunt and like make a bunch of noises?
It was actually in the bathroom.
Oh, there you go.
It's like Candi said, we used to all record together, and now it's just I lock myself in my booth and just look at the screen. And it was, I guess, during COVID, so we recorded by ourselves.
You know, it's funny. I locked myself in my room in front of a screen, and my mom smacked me when she saw what I was watching.
I'm sorry, that voice kills me.
It
kills me.
It did include llamas.
Llamas.
Talk about Beast Wars.
We love our Carls. There's a lot of great Carls out there. A lot of you. It's a good voice.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
All right, so I asked on my YouTube channel, I did a poll, and we're gonna play a game where y'all try and guess the results of the poll, and y'all can play along in the audience. So I put on my YouTube channel, I asked my audience, who would you want as your best friend? And I gave them 3 options. I gave them Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen. Who do you think got the most votes and why? And then I'll reveal the answer afterwards.
I say that Sheen got the most votes.
Because he pees in the shower?
Because he likes ultralard. Do it.
I gotta say Carl.
Thank you.
Because whatever Jimmy says, Carl's okay.
I think, I'm sorry, bro. I think I would have to choose Jimmy because she's my direct line to his mom. Our love is real.
Please do, Jesus. He's been a
What would y'all pick? Shout it out. A lot of Sheens, a lot of Sheens. So,
I noticed that Nick Dean wasn't an option, but that's okay. I hate all these guys anyway, a bunch of dweebs, whatever.
it could be fun to hang out with. At 77% of the vote, it went to Jimmy.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woohoo! As it should be. Star of the show.
Thank you so much. I am a good friend. Plus, I know what you're talking about.
I mean,
And I will let you fly in my hovercraft.
exactly. Jimmy could just make you like anything you want, basically.
Anything you
there's
want,
another
ask
boy
me for
genius
it.
who would disagree with that, but I'm just saying. I don't know.
Sheen was in second. Okay, next one.
Oh, Carl, you were in
Carl
third
was-
place.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I asked my audience, and I had pictures of them. I don't know, y'all would have to look them up if you can't picture it, but I asked, who has the best hair? And I gave the same 3 options. So we had Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen. Now Jimmy has the iconic swoosh hair.
Well, I look like a cross between a Q-tip and a chia pet.
That's exactly what he looks like.
So I got that going for me. Go ahead, Jeff. I mean,
Are you a natural redhead girl?
you better ask your mom. Sorry, she teed it up for me.
Oh my God.
She's over here tossing softballs. Yes, they hit him.
Yeah, you know what? That's like one of those, oh yeah, ask your mom. No, really, ask your mom.
That's what.
I don't know.
That's what Jimmy's mom said.
Oh, Jesus help me.
See what I mean? Jesus really does help me trick people.
So in that poll,
I would have to say Jimmy has, because it looks like that thing at the,
Dairy
you know,
Queen.
Yes.
back in like the 90s, those really expensive toothbrushes had that little like thing
Oh yeah.
to clean out.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Dairy Queen type of toothpick type of thing. I'm gonna have to go with Jimmy on that one.
Jimmy took it home yet again.
Totally.
Yeah,
It's
76%.
almost like it was his show. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
almost.
Can I just say something? That when we recorded Jimmy Neutron, we got to be together, and for me, I'm not funny. I'm the straight person. So for me, it was like going to a comedy show every time we went to work, being in the room with you 3. I mean, I don't know how they come up with this funny stuff, but Candi's right. We got very little done.
Yeah.
Because we were laughing all the time, and you put headsets on on a voice actor, and we just like to hear ourselves talk. So
You never know it. And no, Debbie's right. Look, you said it. We were talking about, like, it was the golden age for us. Every time we'd walk into a room, oh my God, there's Peter Cullen. Oh my God, there's Frank
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, all the time. The nicest group of people. And like Debbie was saying, you can't not get this many people together, and all you do is poke one of us with a stick, and that's it. Off you go. But having been, all of us, in those circumstances so many times that we can't even count them, and we are impossibly grateful. But whether or not an improv line or something else ended up on the show, the energy that was created by having all those actors in the studio and remarkably gifted writers on the other side, and we'd be feeding jokes back to each other. But that energy really ended up on the screen, because I worked on shows in which I would be picked up by myself and not work with the other cast, and they're okay, but it doesn't. Every show I've done that has been a big deal has been with people who are at the top of their game on both sides of the screen, of the glass, and deep respect for one another's craft, to the extent that nobody got bent sideways if you said, yeah, Rob, I like that improv, but we're going to stick with that line. Great.
Whatever you want to do, dude, you're paying us.
Do it. Right. And
Jim, well, I remember
But there's
Jim...
been ego before when you be with somebody that is, you know, especially, I will just give a hint for new actors, new voice actors, that you come in, that you want to show how much you love the character by changing the words. And I learned something a long time ago. The script has the job. The script already has the job. It's already been through all the things it needs to be through. How you get back in the room again and again is making the words that are on the page live and sing and soar. But I will say, and I'm sorry, Debbie, I want to say this one thing. We used to do a Jeff pass. And every show we'd do a first pass, and then somebody would mess up and we'd do it again, or they'd rewrite, or they'd say, try it this way, and then they'd go crazy pass, or Jeff pass. And the things that would come out of Jeff Garcia's mouth, 90% of the time ended up in the show. Because he could take what was on, what you wanted, and because he's so gifted as a comedian, and give you what you wanted, but give it that edge that brought the age up of the show, like somebody a little older would like it, and you could count on Jeff Garcia to bring it home.
Always.
Always, man.
I don't know, I think it was the Mexican thing. Because my mom never had recipes. So she just looked at something and threw it in the beans. And then she threw something else in the beans. And then something came out of my butt.
Also, on that happy note, also, Jeff taught me to do the sound of a siren, a police siren. He said, something I've heard a lot.
I didn't teach you this one, Rob. You know what this sound is?
I
You know what that sound is?
No.
That's when they find out the guy's white, they turn it off. You have a nice day, sir.
And let me tell you this.
This happened at work all the time. God, I love you.
When they were casting Sheen, they wanted an Asian actor, and they brought in every person they could think of as a voice actor, and they didn't find what they were looking for. And so they thought, well, we'll bring in a Mexican. We'll bring in a Latino, and and he was high. And so the minute John Davis, our creator, heard Jeff do Sheen, he was like, that's it, we found him, everybody go home.
I've never heard anybody say Ultra Lord like Sheen does.
Ajay!
Ajay!
He's the best ever. And if you say something bad, I'm going to tell Carl, Jimmy's mom, that Carl likes him.
And on that note, I think that's a wonderful place to end off. Thank you guys so much for coming. Give them a round of applause.